Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new and this is your first time seeing me or being here, my name is Chantal, and yeah, I'll be happy to have you subscribe, join me. And as you can see, I am currently expecting baby number 2. My eldest is currently 10, but if you were to obviously look back in previous videos, yeah, I've filmed like recent videos with her, but before we used to consistently film, and then we took like a long break, and yeah, now we're back. So before I get into this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you comment down below before you exit this video. And also make sure you turn on your post notification on, so that when I upload a video, you are first to see. So yeah, I'm currently really out of breath, as you can hear. I'm gonna sound out of breath probably throughout this whole video because yeah, baby's kicking me left, right and center, so just be patient. So this is the long awaiting video. A lot of people on my Instagram, I'm very active on my Instagram at the moment, and a lot of people on my Instagram has been asking me, Shan, like, I did ghost, yeah, I did ghost in my first and my second, during my first and second trimester. I wasn't actively on social media. There was no way of me being actively on social media anyways, because of how this pregnancy kicked me to the curb. So this video is basically just about my first trimester, about my second trimester, what I went through, how it went, how it's different, completely different to Nevaeh's pregnancy, and also about just raising more awareness on, I'm not even gonna say the word, Jesus, let me just look it up first. Hyperemesis gravidarum. Okay, so yeah, I wanna the only reason why I'm saying awareness is because it's not spoken of, and I only found out about Hyperemesis gravidarum during this pregnancy. I've never heard of it in my life, and yeah, so now that obviously I've spoken about it on my Snapchat and my Instagram, I was so shocked with the amount of people that's come back to say that they've gone through it, and I'm just like, this is so unheard of. Like, I wonder how much other people is going, or that's gone through it or is going through it, that just feels like they're alone, and it's not a nice thing. So I'm gonna obviously talk about my experience, what I went through, how it hit me, how I'll listen, yeah, all of that, because I'm just so happy that I'm not in that situation anymore. I'm just happy that I'm out of that phase. And yeah, so just let's get into the video. So yeah, found out I was pregnant, and I feel like it's a mental thing, because the minute I found out I was pregnant, that's when the sickness started to come. And it started off with, I will say, to be honest, I was weeing a lot. Like, I am someone that goes toilet a lot during the night, and I felt like me going to the toilet increased a lot. So that was like sign number 1 for me. Number 2 was I had sore breasts, and number 3 was the spitting. Oh my gosh, guys, the spitting was disgusting. Like, it got to a point where I literally had a bottle, and the bottle was right next to my bed, and I was always spitting non-stop. Like, the minute I spit, I have to spit again. It was really disgusting, and I had to like cover the bottom of the bottle, because obviously when I looked at it, I heaved because it just looks nasty. And then obviously I was vomiting. Another thing that made me obviously know that I was, you know, pregnant was the smell. My smell sense increased dramatically. Like, I was smelling everything. My smell not past my nose. Listen, I could smell everything. Everything to the, yeah, it was dreams. I'm a dreamer, but them I dream, yeah, they were a bit too much. Like, they were very vivid, they were very scary. I was just like, so obviously at this point I knew I was pregnant, yeah. And yeah, I was just dreaming some weird things, some really weird, and some of them were really scary. Like, I was scared to go to sleep sometimes because I was just like, I don't want to dream. I don't want to dream. I was exhausted. At that time, I was working, so getting up to go to work was a chore. But you know, I pushed myself. I used to fall asleep and everything at work as well. Like, it was really bad. And then I would say that was like my first, you know, the mild stages of my symptoms. And then everything just changed overnight, and then I just remember vomiting my life away. Like, I was literally vomiting about 7 to 10 times a day, no word of a lie. And it got to a point where there was nothing to vomit, because I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't do anything. Like, I was literally vomiting. It's like I was vomiting air. Things were coming up, but it was like bowel and like the, you know, the lining of my stomach. Like, I was literally, I just remember it got to a point where I was just vomiting, and I was just tired of vomiting. Like, I was so hungry, but I couldn't eat. I was so thirsty, but I'm scared to drink, because if I drink, it's gonna come up. So I'm not able to keep down water, wasn't able to keep down drink, I wasn't able to keep down nothing. Like, literally everything that I consumed, it will come up within minutes. Like, literally in 2 weeks I lost 2 stones. About, yeah, 2 stones. I listen. I thinned out so quickly. I literally used to just lie in bed, and that was my routine. I wasn't working in the office at that time, I was working from home, and literally, like, I used to just lie in the bed on my back, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I literally was just like, I can't do this anymore. It's not fair. Like, why am I going through this? This ain't normal. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, but I'm scared to eat. Got to a point where I was literally like, I just used to stare at the ceiling, and I used to cry. I was just crying because I was so hungry, but I just know that I'm gonna vomit. And I vomited so much that my, what do you call it, esophagus started bleeding, because of how much times, you know, it's irritated. So all that vomiting obviously is torn something there, so that used to burn. So anytime anything comes up, it used to burn. And yeah, like, I was just like, emotionally I was drained. I was just tired of it. Like, I literally thought, I don't think my body can take this. And I think I was researching as well, and I was looking at like different people that's going through it, and I was just like, some people go through this throughout the whole pregnancy. There's no way this is gonna be me, because it needed to come to an end, but I just didn't know when. And I used to speak to my mom, and I'm on the phone to my mom, and I'm crying, I'm crying, and I'm like, Mom, like I can't go through this anymore. Like, I'm hungry. I think that was me. I'm a foodie. I love food, and I was so hungry. And then obviously my daughter Nevaeh is in the house. She doesn't know. She didn't know I was pregnant at the time, so she's obviously witnessing everything that's going on, and she's just thinking, why is my mum sick? What's going on? But for me, I just didn't want to tell her. I didn't want to tell her at that time because of what my body was going through, and I wanted it to be a happy moment when I told her that I'm expecting, basically. And at that time I didn't have the energy or anything to make it a beautiful experience for her to know that, you know, mummy's having a baby. So yeah, the vomiting lasted for up until I was just hit 4 months, and that was consistently vomiting every day. And then that's me being in and out of hospital, because I'm vomiting so much, because I'm vomiting so many times a day, because I'm vomiting like, you know, up to 10 times a day, and I'm not able to keep water down. I had to go to the hospital. There's times when I'm literally like so zoned out and spaced out, like I'm just out of it. So when I go to the hospital, they will check, and then obviously they will put me on fluids because I'm dehydrated, I'm weak. I was like, honestly, I was literally just, it's like I was just withering away. My clothes weren't fitting me no more. All hair was sucked in. My collar, but everything was just sticking out. I just look mager. Like, I literally just look sick. Like, if someone was to see me before I fell pregnant to then walking past me in a hospital, they will know something's wrong, literally. So they gave me anti-sickness tablets. The first one that they gave me didn't really work. I think it was, I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Zyclazine or something like that. That really, it wasn't really working. Then I'll go back to the hospital again. The vomiting, because the vomiting for me, I just felt like as the day was going, the vomiting was getting worse. And I'll go back, they will check dehydration. They admitted me into hospital. They put me on a drip. So I was literally on just, yeah, on fluids all the time. Then I was very emotional. That was another thing. I was so emotional. I'll be watching movies, I'm crying. You say anything to me that was a bit, it doesn't even have to be harsh, I'll start crying. I'm on the bus, I'll start crying. I'm on the train, I remember like I literally used to just cry. I remember one time I was on my way to work with my mum, and I just started crying. I couldn't even stop. I was like, Mum, I don't know what to do. I was just bawling down the place, like literally. My eyes go red and everything. I'm thinking I have to go to work, but I was just really emotional. I honestly just remember the days when I used to just lie in the bed and mentally I gave up, because, you know, I've always wanted to have another child, but I don't know, it's like I had this image in my head that, yeah, the next time I get pregnant, you know, it's gonna be like, I don't know, like you just have this image of what you expect it to be or you think it's gonna be. But for me, that was not it. and just laying there in bed like every day. It was just a repeat, because it's like I knew what the next day is gonna be. I knew it was just gonna be another day of vomiting, another day of, you know, feeling weak, another day of, you know, another thing that used to really me was, you know, when you're like, for me, obviously I know they're doing it because they care and because I do need to eat, but you know, I'll speak to like my mum, and I'll speak to Maroon or anyone, and they're like, you need to eat, and I'm just like, I know I need to eat, but I'm scared to eat, because whenever I eat it comes up, and then it's just like, okay, but you need to eat, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be sick. So literally I'd rather just starve myself rather than vomiting, like literally. So that was another thing that used to really, and then obviously I'm thinking, but then I don't want to starve the baby, because the baby needs to be fed. And listen, my mind mentally, it's like I went through it. Like I think I went through every thought that you can possibly think of, and I think unless you've gone through it, then you would understand where I'm coming from. But it's not because I wanted to think those thoughts, but my body gave up. Like my body literally gave up on me, and it just felt like it couldn't do it anymore. It was just very draining, you know, having to always go hospital, you know, drip, fluid, dehydration. It's just like, okay, drink, and then your hair, oh, but have you drank your 2 liters of water? Have you drank? And I'm just like, well, when I drink it, it comes up. So it's just like, I can't win, literally. So what I used, because I was so dehydrated, all I used to do is sleep. So I'm sleeping my days away, wake up, and I feel weak, and that is literally it. Repeat. Wake up, eat, vomit, sleep, wake up, I'm hungry, okay, can I try and consume something? I'll go ahead, eat it, vomit, go to sleep. So yeah, it was a very, for me, it was a very traumatic experience, because my body literally went into shock. The hospital trips, and then there was a day when I had to go, I went toilet, and I saw spottings, like blood and stuff, and then I was just like, whoa, like what's going on here? So obviously I spoke to my partner, so he's obviously, you know, as anyone, we're panicking. I'm panicking, thinking, oh my gosh, like what's going on? I went to the hospital, they've checked me and everything. The hospital, I'm not gonna lie, my hospital experience was terrible. Like I was waiting for so long. Sorry, hold on. I'm having Braxton hits, guys. It's getting worse, and they're coming so often. Alright, so during my first and second, no, this was my first and either my first or second trimester. Yeah, during my first and second trimester, another thing that I experienced was something called cervical ectropion, and that is where my cervix, it's like it's shedding, it's bleeding. That usually happens when there's contact, whether it be sexually, whether it be through, and I just remember going to the toilet and I was bleeding. And yeah, we went to the hospital, they checked me using the speculum. So when they used the speculum, obviously the bleeding did worsen, and they were basically saying that if it's a case where miscarrying, there's nothing that they can do, because obviously it's already begun. so I just have to pass through whatever is happening. So yeah, that was the last thing that I wanted to hear, because I'm just like, I'm having a miscarriage. Like, I'm having a miscarriage and you lot are just, I mean, I hear and I understood where they were coming from, but for me it was just like, okay, well, just go home. Like, they can't do anything basically. So they said that the only time I should come back to the hospital is if I'm if I start clotting a lot. So I remember going home that day, I went to sleep, and then I woke up and I started clotting. Like, there was literally so much clot, and I was just like, and I called my partner, showed him everything, and he was like, I'm coming now, I'm taking me back to the hospital. So we went back to the hospital, and I was there I slept there. I didn't get admitted, I slept there because I was waiting for that long for a doctor, to see a doctor to check me. And then I called the early pregnancy unit, and I basically said that I've been downstairs in A&E waiting to be seen by a doctor, still haven't been seen by anyone. I'm bleeding, clotting, and I just want to get checked. So they just told me to come upstairs, and literally they done a scan and the baby was fine. They checked my cervix, and then that's when they basically told me that my cervix is it's irritated. So that's the reason why you know, I'm bleeding and stuff. So they said nothing to worry about, baby's fine and kicking and well. So yeah, just go home. But obviously keep an eye on it and stuff. But it's just one of them things that happens to some pregnant women, and there's nothing that they can do. It just, over time it will just pass, but obviously just avoid contact and stuff like that. So for me, I don't want no contact at all, because I'm just like, down there is basically saying no. So yeah, so that was like, for me, that was the last thing that I wanted to obviously go through, because I was still going through the vomiting stages, and then obviously thinking, you know, I'm miscarrying and stuff. But thank God I'm here and I'm not, and baby's healthy and baby's well. So yeah, thank God for that. Hyperemesis gravidarum should definitely be spoken more of. Everyone's experience is different, symptoms are different. I've had a few people message me some things, and I can actually, as much as I probably didn't go through it to that level, because yeah, I wouldn't even say there's levels to it, but compared to what I went through, I'm happy that it wasn't to that extent, because it does make you wanna, it's not nice, it's really not nice, and a lot of people do go through it. And you know, I've gone through it just to make people know that you're not alone, and to speak on it as well, because you could potentially help someone else in terms of, I don't know, like for me at the beginning I was just like, what is this? This is not just vomiting, it's gone past vomiting. And then being, you know, given all these tablets as well that weren't working. And then it got to a point where they gave me a particular tablet, which was, let me get the name of it, metronidazole. Yeah, metronidazole or something like that, and that was the only one that worked for me. But with that, the side effects was the drowsiness. So obviously when I'm taking it, I will get extremely drowsy and sleepy. So you know, when you're working and stuff, that's the last thing that you want to be taking. But I had to, because I couldn't keep nothing down, and I had to wake up at like 4 a.m. to take it, so that by the time my body wakes up, it's kicked in, and then I can just commence throughout the day. So yeah, if you've gone through HG, comment down below and just send me a message, send me a DM, just tell me about your experience, because I'm actually shocked to know how different everyone's experience is. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Everyone literally gets them. Imagine I have this baby on. Yeah, so honestly, like, yeah, you're not alone. Like, don't ever feel like, when I see all these videos, pictures, and I'm seeing everyone, I'm just like, yeah, that's gonna be me, that's gonna be me when I have my next child. I mean, I only started enjoying my pregnancy 5 months on. Like, literally when I hit probably 4.5 months going into the 5 month, that's when, for me, that's when I was pregnant, because that's when I started to kind of feel normal again. That's when my body started to feel a bit more like, yeah, I can eat and stuff like that. I'm not feeling sick. So honestly, my pregnancy felt like it went like that, because the first 4 months were not nice and I didn't enjoy it, and it was purely just spent in bed. And then obviously, yeah, when my appetite came back and I was able to eat, and I was craving pizza. Your girl was craving pizza, anything with cheese, all of that stuff, all that good stuff, cheese, dairy, yeah, dairy, cheese, pizza. That was me. That was literally me. And yeah, like nachos and cheese from Odeon Cinema as well. Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah, when I hit my 5 month period, that's when I started to enjoy my pregnancy. And yeah, it's just gone quick. It's gone quick. And then obviously that's when I started telling people as well that I was pregnant. And then now it's just like, I'm about to have a whole baby soon, and people are just like, but you just came out. Like, when was, you know, when did everything happen? But yeah, that is literally, yeah, that's literally it. Like, don't ever feel like you're alone. I mean, you're never alone in anything. Like, in any situation, you're never alone. There's always someone else that's going through it, and unless you speak, that's when you will know that you're the only person. I'm not gonna lie, there was times lying down in the bed I thought, I'm the only one that's going through this, and no one's experienced this before, and you know, so on and so forth. And that's because no one spoke about it. But you know, me speaking on it made me realize that, Shan, you're not alone, because people's gone through it and gone through worse as well. So yeah, HG is real, guys. HG is real. It is real, and it's not a nice thing. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was, a lot of people was asking me, you know, was it different to Nevaeh's pregnancy? 150% different to Nevaeh's pregnancy. I did not go through what I went through with this baby. Nevaeh, I did have morning sickness, but not to that level. And her morning sickness only lasted for about 3 months, and I felt like majority of my morning sickness was based on myself, because I was craving rice and I will go and eat the rice, then vomit it, and then go back and eat the rice and vomit it. So yeah, like I would even say, yeah, it wasn't severe. Like it wasn't severe vomiting. I will probably vomit like twice a day, if that, and it was just like every other day. In terms of smells and stuff, like yeah, I had the smells, and I think I lost a bit of weight. But apart from that, my pregnancy with Nevaeh was very easy. But I can't really compare it to this pregnancy, because my body was much younger. I was much younger. My body was much, you know, I was more agile, I was just more active and stuff like that. And to be honest, I just had to get on with it, because I was young and there was no sympathy there. There was no running to anyone, you know, telling them how I feel, and you know, there was no feeling sorry for, because of my age. So I just had to get on with it. I was probably running on a lot of adrenaline as well when I was pregnant with Nevaeh, because yeah, I just had to do what I had to do. Whereas with this pregnancy, I'm older. No one can't tell me nothing. Nobody can tell me nothing and tell me so me can't have my baby. You understand that? I'm a grown woman. Like, come on. I'm a grown woman. So obviously I can speak to my mom and feel no way. I can speak to anyone. I call my grandma in Jamaica. I tell her what I'm going through, how I'm feeling. And you know, they listen and they're helping and they're supportive and stuff like that. But you think I could call my grandma in Jamaica when I was pregnant with Nevaeh? You're mad. So yeah, in terms of like the support now, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm truly grateful for it. Yeah. So yeah, so that was my first and second trimester experience, a very traumatic one. I'm just grateful that right now I've made it this far in my pregnancy, and that the baby's healthy and all is well. I'm also healthy, just really out of breath. Obviously I'm coming to the end of my pregnancy right now, so it's all normal. Baby's very active. For those that don't know, I'm having a boy, so I've got my girl, and now God's blessed me with my boy. It's still not real. Like, I still can't believe I'm gonna be a boy mom. I've asked so many people, like, you know, how does it feel to be a boy mom, like, or to have a boy? And I've had some amazing responses, so I can't wait to just experience that. Me and Nevaeh's relationship and our bond is out of this world. I wouldn't change it for anything. So in my head it's just like, I'm happy that we have that, and that whatever me and Rain has is gonna be different. Like, it's nothing that I can compare to Nevaeh, because it's both different genders and it's just gonna be different, and she's obviously grown and stuff like that now, so I'm excited. But yeah, that is it for me today. I hope I covered everything, because my brain is fried right now. I've wanted to do this video for a long time, and I just kept putting it off because of how I've been feeling. I've just been feeling very tired and exhausted recently. So I hope I covered everything and I haven't rambled on and I haven't missed nothing. But if there's anything else that you would want to know, just send me a message, send me a DM, or drop a comment down below, and then I'll answer it. Or I can do another video to cover some of the questions that you may want to ask as well. So yeah, that's it for me today, guys. And yeah, just make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you comment, interact, and yeah, stay blessed and stay prayed up and stay protected, and I will see you in the next video.